Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Why Tupperware Why Now Wednesday interview. And today I am interviewing a leader in our company, and her name is Terri Ruffino. And I am so excited to be interviewing Terri today. Really quick, as you're kind of tuning in, go ahead. If you're watching a replay, you can put replay and go ahead and start commenting. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the feed and I will address them at the end. We're going to answer some questions the last couple minutes of this. And let's see here. And if you're a guest here with somebody, please let us know who you're a guest with. Just go ahead and say hello and let us know that you're a guest with somebody. So awesome. All right. So my name is Ellen and I've been in Tupperware about 14 years or so. And it has been such a life-changing experience, not only for myself, but for my whole family, for my husband, and just kind of our relationship and how it has evolved in Tupperware. But also you got a lot of fans in the chat there, Terri.
I can't see the chat, so I don't know.
Okay, don't worry about the chat. A lot of people saying hello, saying how beautiful you look. All right. But it has been such a huge thing for my family, just even how it has evolved over the years. When the kids were little, I was able to be at home with them and kind of work around their toddler craziness, and be able to take all those trips to the zoo and those sort of things. But then as they got older and our needs shifted, our needs became more monetary to pay for schooling and start paying down some debt and things like that. It has definitely filled that need as well. And so now my kids are older. I mean, I've been in 14 years and I had kids when I started. So I have one that's getting ready to go away to college next year. I have another one that is pretty close behind. We're soon to have 2 drivers in the house and then a little second grader. So we got one bringing up the rear. So it just kind of depends. But the cool thing about Tupperware is it kind of ebbs and flows with your life. And now Terri is at a different phase in her life. She has older children, and she has a business within her home that she's working her Tupperware around. So, and it's fun because each week there's somebody else. Sometimes it's somebody that has a corporate job. Sometimes it's another stay-at-home mom. Sometimes it is somebody who was able to leave a corporate job from Tupperware. But right now we're talking with Terri, and she has been in Tupperware. What did you say, about a year-ish, Terri?
A little over a year. I think I started in, I want to say August or September, right in the middle of the
2020
pandemic. Yeah.
Of the 2020.
I couldn't get it out. It just didn't want to come out.
I know. It doesn't want to come out of anywhere else at this point. We're kind of done talking about it.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Well, that's awesome. So why Tupperware? What made you say yes to Tupperware?
Well, point blank, I wanted to sign up basically just for the discount. And there was items that I wanted. I wanted the modular mates. I wanted the fridge smarts. I wanted the freezer mates. I wanted it all. And the only way I was going to get it is if I got it at a discount. And I am addicted to Tupperware, bottom line. And it's kind of sad.
Were you addicted to Tupperware before you got started?
No.
Okay, nope. Not quite to that extent. You just knew you wanted some.
I saw the new stuff and I wanted it. I mean, I have stuff that from when I first got married, I got stuff that from my grandmother, from my mom. And I was like, they didn't make this stuff back then. This is all new and I want it. So I signed up for the discount. And then I thought, I have been in a lot of different companies before trying to do this, the sales. And nothing compared to what I received when I came in with Tupperware. Nothing. The support I got right up the ladder was amazing. I've been in companies where I've got absolutely no support. And that to me is like, I left a company to join Tupperware because I liked the way it was going. Mm-hmm. And I am happy that I'm with Tupperware. Honest to goodness, I really am. I've never seen anything like this. Never.
Wow. I love that. And you hear that a lot. Unfortunately, I was with a couple companies before I was with Tupperware too. And I did actually get some support, not near the level but also
Nothing like this.
it was also an arm's length support, if that makes sense. Sort of like,
It does. It does make sense.
I have a free hour this week if anybody wants to talk to me, and it was like, I was one of probably a couple thousand. So it was like, oh,
Right,
so
right.
like, because you're going to be in the car for an hour, then we have the privilege of talking to you. Like, it was kind of weird. But yeah, and Pam, who is our business leader, who owns our Tupperware company, we're called Champions within Tupperware, and Pam is so accessible. And she is so down to earth. And so, when you see her, sometimes you just like a first impression, you can kind of be like, she doesn't look like me. She doesn't like, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to relate to each other, but she is so relatable and such a big heart that you just can't help but just love her.
Right.
She's so supportive. Yeah. So yeah, I
Everybody's
love
very
that.
supportive too, but she's super supportive.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, a lot of times though, that her position is the position that is a little bit at arm's length, and she's just not that way. She's very accessible via messages, via anything, honestly.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of covered this a little bit, your experience so far. So your experience so far has been, you feel very connected. But on the business side of it, what has been your experience so far?
People are very welcoming for Tupperware. Like, they don't believe that it's been around for as long as it has. And the fact that it's, a lot of people look at you and like, it's still around. Oh yeah, it's still around. And then once they get their hands on that catalog, it's like, oh my gosh, look at all this stuff. And that's what happened with me. I got my hands on one of the catalogs and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want it. And so I want to say it sells itself. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, that was my experience too. That's really funny that you say that, because that was my experience too, because I was with other direct sales companies and I was actively working in another direct sales company when I came to Tupperware. And so,
So was I.
yeah, I mean, so that in itself makes you and I kind of unique. Usually a lot of times people may have been in other direct sales companies, but they weren't actively working in that direct sales company when they switched companies. And for me, when I switched, it was like turning on a light switch. Like, I was working in the dark, trying to figure this business out. And then Tupperware came along, turned on the light switch, and was like, hey, what are you doing in there? Like, all you need to do is, look, it's all right here, right in front of you.
Right.
And because what I found was, when I went and worked shows, people walked up to the table. Oh my gosh, Tupperware. I didn't know Tupperware is still around. Can I do a party? And you're just like, what? Like, I actually accused Pam of paying people to do that because I was working my first show with her and people were literally walking up and saying, I need to date a party. And I'm like looking at her like, are these your friends? Like, because I thought she was just trying to like butter me up and really seal the deal that I was here to work Tupperware. It was really amusing. But yeah, I have the same experience. Absolutely. So if you think about it from, somebody who is watching this right now and they're thinking, should I join Tupperware? I'm not sure. Maybe they're shopping around companies. Maybe they're with another company like you and I were, or maybe they're just not feeling like maybe it's for them. Like, maybe they just don't have the confidence. So if you were speaking to that person, why should they try Tupperware and why now?
Well, the amount of training that you get with Tupperware that's free, you don't have to pay for this training, is above and beyond. It's amazing. Like, you have so much in your back office that you can go to and look at whenever you have time, whenever you have free time. Nobody's going to let you fail. And I found that out. I am not failing. I'm not failing. And the amount of support that you'll have will be enough to give you the experience that you need. And I can't even explain it. It's that good. It's that good. And you get, I mean, you get bonuses, you get, items for, if you sell this, you get that. It's great. It's just, my husband's like, what are we doing with all this stuff? I'm like, we're using it.
Absolutely.
It,
I've had people on my team, their husbands have had to build another cupboard because they had so much. Now we have a small, like we don't have, I wouldn't call it a small kitchen. I've definitely had smaller kitchens in my life. But we don't have a lot of storage in our kitchen, which is kind of
I
a
don't
big deal.
either.
So we have like a rack in the basement that has the bigger stuff, not my everyday use stuff. So maybe like
Right.
a couple extra bowls and, just some bigger things like that that I don't need every single day. And I call like what's in the kitchen, that's prime real estate. This is stuff that like comes out of the cupboards at least 2 times a week. That's what's in the kitchen. And so yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to answer some questions for everybody. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the chat. I've been trying to keep an eye. I love it. So you have somebody that is on your team.
Julie.
Julie. Yeah, Julie. So you knew. See, you can't even see the chat. And you knew it was Julie.
I can't see it, but I saw it pop up off to the side in like my messages.
Yeah.
And so I figured, that's who you were talking about. I'm sorry if my camera keeps moving, but it's not the stand isn't standing, so I'm trying to hold it.
You're doing fine. You know what? I bumped my table at one point and I was like, okay, did everybody see that? It kind of like it wasn't an earthquake in Northeast Ohio. It was
So you could have
my
one.
leg. It's all good. So Julie is a big fan of yours. She absolutely loves Tupperware in this business. She loves you and Christy. And Christy is both Julie and Terry's upline director, upline org
She's
leader.
amazing.
She is amazing. Like,
yes, she is.
She's such a beautiful human being. Like, and that I would say is one of the most pleasant surprises to me about this business is that before I was in Tupperware, when people would say, I love somebody like a sister, or like, she's like my, sister from another mister, whatever people say, when they would say those things, right? I was always like, I've got family and I have sisters and there's nobody that I would love on that level. Like I never really understood that until I came to Tupperware. And these are the people that I call on my best days, my worst days, with my best news, my worst news. These are the people that when times get bad, these are the people that surround me. These are the people that show up at my door of food. These are the people, and it's just send me care packages in the mail. I mean, these are the people. And it's just like, it as an adult, it's not super easy to like meet people and bond on this level, but there's something amazing that happens when you're working towards a common goal, and so, and in Tupperware, your goals are our goals. So like my goal is pretty darn big. Like I have a very big vision of where I want to go in this company. And I've already come very far on my journey to that vision, but I'm not there yet, but, I've had lots of people on my team that their goal was to make money for vacations or make money for, a down payment on a new car, or even just to pay for the extras. I knew somebody that started because she wanted to take salsa lessons and her husband said, absolutely not, it's not in the budget. And she was like, well, I'm going to find money. And so she joined Tupperware to take salsa lessons. That's the money she wanted to make. So that was success to her. She just needed $150 a month. That was it, And so, and that's the beauty of it. It can be as much or as little as you're wanting to. You yourself, you started to get Tupperware to actually spend money and not make money.
And then I ended up paying off bills.
Exactly.
And
I love it.
Plus, I couldn't believe what we could do with it. And so now I don't want to stop. Yeah. I want to go. I want to go.
I know it gets addictive. Like you almost get a little like myself, my personality, I can get a little obsessive. Right? When there's something that excites me and that I'm just like really turned on by it, like I get a little obsessive. So like I fall asleep with business books or, or listening to trainings and stuff. Like I am a training junkie and I have to stop myself from listening to training so I can actually do it, right? Because there's no point. And you're going to learn the most by doing, right? That's the number one way you learn things is by jumping in with both feet and doing it messy, right? But I love to listen to training and I love to take all the notes and I have all the things. So, we're going to answer some frequently asked questions. I'm still scanning. If you have any questions, just ask them right there in the chat. And so some of these questions we've already answered, right? Terri actually answered some of them in in this conversation. And one of them was, do you get support? And,
Absolutely.
yeah, she says absolutely. And I'm glad she says that. We feel as leaders that we're supporting, but to hear it from the people that we're supporting, that they're feeling supported, is a big deal. Could I say support one more time? That was weird.
Support. It's all about support.
So, and the cool thing is that the different types of support we have to support you. Oh my God. Now that's all I'm hearing is the word support. I'm not a professional interviewer, and that is very clear. Okay. All right. So we can give you what you need the way that you need it, such as
for support.
Yes. I was trying so hard, Terri, so hard. Okay. So
you have my support. We're good.
Thank you. So some people they prefer like to binge watch, right? So they want to just like watch video after video after video after video after video. And that's how they like to take in the information. So we have a YouTube channel and you can literally watch video after video after video after video. And in Tupperware, when you sign up and you log into the back office, they actually have a program that you walk through and unlock training as you go. And it is video after video after video after video. So we have that level of support. We also have live support, right? So we have live meetings on Monday nights for different levels. And then we have everybody on Thursday nights as well. And you can tune in via Zoom and, put your camera on and start practicing putting yourself out there, right? Or you can watch on Facebook and that way it has the closed caption, right? So you can read it. So if you're in a position that you can't listen to it, you can sit there and you can kind of catch up and read it and go back and watch it again, of course, since it is right there in the feed. And then we have so much. We even have a champion website that a lot of people don't even know about that is actually a lot of recipes. There's some paper type training on there. So you can print up PDFs and read about them, things like along those lines. And we're always here as a reference for books and things like that so that you can tap into. And that's just Tupperware related. Okay. So that's not even including just direct sale type training that you can get anywhere with the click of a Google. So yes, training. If you want to be trained, we can train you. All right. And then how much time will it take? That's a question that a lot of people ask. And again, that's kind of one of those things that's sort of up to the individual. As I said, I can be a little obsessive when I get excited. So in the beginning, I didn't have a lot of time to commit because I had 2 small children running around like crazy. But when they were napping, I was doing stuff. When we were in the car, we were listening. They were listening to, at the time it was CDs, right? So they would listen to training CDs in the car when we were running around. And, and then when I put them to bed, that was me time. That was go time. I had my laptop. I actually used to keep my laptop right beside the chair that I sat in the family room when the kids were playing. So I could just pick it up and put it right in my lap and for a couple minutes and then put it right back. And actually my first office, and I use the term very loosely, was the back side of our family room and it was the kids' playroom. And so from here up was my office. And from there down was their playroom because there was a big desk in there. And so they couldn't reach up there. So I could have all my stuff up there. So, I mean, it just kind of depends upon how much time you want to put into it. Now, Terri runs a business out of her home. She runs a daycare business out of her home. So she's very busy. And during nap time, she probably is, I don't know, trying to just wake up her mind from all the crazy conversations.
I try to work my business. I try to work my business at nap time, but I don't always get nap time at the same time. So
right.
I've actually, tried really hard sometimes, but
exactly.
I set aside some time, after work to work everything and it works.
Yeah.
You work around your time and you make your time, whatever time it is. You don't have to have set hours or a set schedule. And that's what I love about this.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually had somebody on my team that worked at an RV dealership. And so on her breaks, she would go out onto one of the RVs, like out in the lot, and just like close the door and work her business. And that's what she did, and so there are lots of different, I always say to my people, if you have a will, we will find a way in whatever your circumstances is. If you're struggling with money, if it's a monetary thing, if it's a time thing, if it's a skill thing, learning new skills to be able to take care of it, we can work with all of those things. Especially now, we are more flexible than ever with all of our online stuff and the ability to work the business from your phone. What are you giggling about so much, Ms.
Because my camera keeps slipping and I keep trying to grab it.
You are fine. You are fine. You just had an ornery look on your face. So the last question that a lot of times people ask is, how much money can I make? And again, that goes back to the individual. I talked about the woman who just wanted $150 a month. And then I actually had somebody that came into the business who's just on cookware. And as soon as she got it, she was out. And I was like, that's fine. That was her goal. And I helped her reach that goal. And then, and then she moved on, and that's perfectly fine. For me, when I started, my goal was to make $3,000 a month as soon as I possibly could. And I knew it wouldn't happen overnight, but I knew that if I consistently put the work in and kept kind of ramping up my skills, that I would be able to get to that point. And in about 6 months, I think, is where I crossed over that was pretty consistent. I kind of peaked a couple of times, but the consistency came around 6 months for me. And it can happen even faster now. I always hesitate to tell people things like that because you can do it way faster than that now. And I always say, I'm like, don't let my story hold you back from creating a better one, or a faster one, And so it is, it's just kind of one of those things. So we don't have any, I think we're done. We don't have any more questions. Terri, and I know, was there anything else you wanted to see? This was fun, wasn't it? Look at you. You're like, oh, is it over?
I can't stop smiling.
We will have to bring you back on maybe in a couple months, and we could just kind of chat some more. All right.
Sounds like
this isn't a one and done. I mean, this is like,
is that how it is?
We could just keep, what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of watch you on your journey through Tupperware and see how far you've come and how you've grown.
Sounds like a plan.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Terri, for joining us tonight. You were fantastic.
Thank you.
You're so great. And now you can go read the comments of all of your adoring fans. Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody. Oh, and by the way, if you have any questions, please go back to the person that shared this with you. And they have all the information on how you can get started. And if you don't have a person, just comment here, and Pam is in charge of this page, and she will get you connected with just the right person. All right. So thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.